I mean, at least we're not getting any little warnings. Like sometimes we'll get a thing. It's like, Sandra's blah 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 is at max capacity, and it's like, uh-oh. But those even work, so we should be okay. Okay, well, it's really scary when it's like a celebrity or someone, and you're like, oh, I really don't want to tell Parker Lewis that we've got an internet problem with his thing. So you just keep going and hope for the best.
Seems like
he can't lose.
Yeah.
There it is.
We both went to the same college.
Killed it.
All right. Welcome to Deep Cuts, the Game, the movie trivia podcast with great movies and great guests. Every week, I bring on 3 interesting people from the world of entertainment, give them 3 movies, and challenge them to pull out the most obscure actors they can. The deeper the cut, the more points they earn. I'm your host, Jeff Penn, and with me, as always, the man who, if he was a film nominated for an Oscar, he would be La La Land. Welcome to the show, Alex. How are you doing?
Good. Would that make me divisive? Would that make me
that would make you in like
a decent musical?
Gave you the award and then realized that it was for someone else.
Oh, I see where you're going with that. Fair enough.
Yeah,
that's good.
Who you are.
That's topical reference.
I mean, I don't watch the Oscars, so it's something I hear about. Like,
they started it an hour early for you, so you can be in bed at a regular time.
I feel about most award shows how I do about sports that are like judge score-based thing. Like, figure skating, like a whole bunch of talent and great, athletes and stuff like that. But when it's, someone's going 5'8", 5'9", and I'm like, I don't care. I just want to see who can run the fastest or, do stuff the most, not,
Right, you're going to be embarrassed when I introduce surprise guest Elvis Stoico. Jeff. God, what a fool.
First person to do a quadruple Lutz or something like that. I don't know. Lutz? I don't know. Whatever they're...
Shut up, Jeff. Yeah. Stop talking about sports. I hate it.
How you doing, bud? What's up?
I'm good. Did you know in Toronto there's a Jimmy Simpson Park?
Is it named after Jimmy Simpson from Degrassi?
Well,
like, who's Jimmy Simpson?
I'm assuming it's not. I'm pretty sure it's named after a football player, but it is at the corner of Queen and Degrassi in Toronto.
Yeah, because my brother used to live there, so I walked by it without.
I want it to be named after breakout King star Jimmy Simpson, who is from New Jersey. In my head all day when I kept seeing it on the news because there's a warming center there.
Okay.
I'm like the Jimmy Simpson, like from It's Always Sunny and Black Mirror, like that Jimmy Simpson. It is not, which was very disappointing. But I was so excited for about 46 minutes until I did a modicum of research.
No, I've walked by it a lot because, like I said, and like I think you've been to that house. Like you visited.
Yeah,
me
we played
my
HeroClix there. I mean, something cool.
Dungeons. Nope, that's not it either. We played HeroClix all night long, and yeah, it was right. That's where Jimmy Simpson Park. And I never really even bothered to think about the name of that park. So that's what you brought us for today. That's
all you got. That's it.
Okay, so I have one little thing, Alex. One little thing. And we were talking about how I am so much older than you, but you are not young anymore. You just had a birthday, which we didn't talk about, when you had it. But it was your birthday.
We did not acknowledge it in any way.
But you are well into your 30s now, much closer to 40 than you are 30 at this point. Do you get much mail, Alex?
Not really.
Physical mail. No, so me neither. So at the most, it's like bills.
And even most of my stuff is paperless.
Yeah, most of that are the same. So, but once in a while, there's something that comes in through for that. And then it's
my driver's license because I had to renew it because it expired on my birthday.
I was gonna say most of ours are like my stuff is like government related things, like like whatever. But something came in today, or this week, and I was like, had my name on it, and it wasn't like a birthday card or anything. And I was like, oh, what is this? And it didn't say who it was from, but it was like from Mississauga, and I was like, and it looked governmenty. And even though I was like, oh, this could be bad, like it could be.
You're excited about a governmenty letter?
I was just maybe it was a check. Like sometimes like you've been hearing about, like they're sending out whatever checks, and I was like,
don't you have direct deposit for that now too, though?
I don't trust the government with that, Alex.
Oh, I do the direct deposit because then you don't have to wait.
I'm afraid that if they have access to put money in, they will start taking it back out. So I've given them no access.
It's such an old man yells at cloud situation.
It is.
They'll take it. They'll take it right out of your account. You can't trust anybody. I put all my money under the mattress.
Well, so I open this up and it's like, Dear Jeff Penn. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, it's probably not nothing great. It was a thing to encourage me to get my hearing checked. It's like, as you may be approaching 55 or perhaps past it. And I'm like, no, assholes. So I went from being very excited about getting mail to realizing that I'm this much closer to death.
It does make sense that they send you a letter and not a phone call. Because what if you couldn't hear it? What if they were right on the money and they're like, we keep calling people, nobody answers.
Nobody's answered, so we got to get them a few years early. Well, that's what's going on with me. Let's get to our guests, Alex. We have 2 returning players who combined are a perfect 5-0. I have 2 dogs in my room right now, and they're not necessarily best friends. Hello. All right, one got scared off, so it's back to one dog.
Worked out.
Yeah, perfect 5-0. Sandra, you 4-0 in the first 2 seasons of this show. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Okay, I thought we lost Sandra
there
for
she
a
is.
second.
She's back.
Good. Yeah, you went 4-0, and we have Eric Martian. You went 1-0, which is, it's still a perfect record. So combined, you guys are 5-0. Thanks for being here.
Thanks so much for. I was waiting to see.
I was like, is Sandra gonna go first? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just gonna say it, Alex. I'm disappointed that you didn't reference Zodiac for Jimmy Simpson. Man, come on, let's go.
He was in it.
That's
See,
right.
man, I'm bad at this game.
He plays the grown-up version of one of the victims, right?
And then Hurdy-Gurdy Man comes in again at the very end.
That's a good one. That's a good deep cut.
This is gonna go great tonight.
Well, we are doing what is hopefully going to be like our kind of like special Oscars themed episode. This episode will be airing, if I've planned everything correctly, right before the Oscars start. So you'll go from me to Conan O'Brien. So it's
are you putting it up on the 15th?
Yeah, we're going head to head, Alex. We're going head to head with
that. Seems like a bad choice.
We're
gonna post this and we're relevant for 45 minutes.
I mean, I guess
everything we say is out of date.
I don't think it matters. I mean, most of our stuff is so out of date. Like we're like 2 weeks behind by the time we post these. So,
all right, let's like.
I mean, like it's not like we're talking about like who's won. We're talking about who might win. And we were talking about how like I really don't watch the Oscars, and
that's true. You did start with that, didn't
you? So it doesn't really matter to me. So I want to ask Eric your thoughts on. So the one thing I've been reading the last couple days is Marty Supreme goes 0 for 11 at the BAFTAs.
BAFTAs, yeah.
Does that mean anything to you? Like, does that?
I mean, Marty Supreme is a fascinating movie just because it was a late bloomer coming out at the end of, December and kind of hitting its stride. But the thing that's been sort of the main focal point in terms of awards conversation has been Timothée Chalamet's performance, and, just turned 30, still a young, spry gentleman, and 4 Oscar nominations to his name. And a lot of people look at the Best Actor category as something that you have to earn over time. Like it's usually not the performance you should win for. It's the, we're making up for, lost time later on, whether it be Paul Newman in, The Color of Money, or Jeff Bridges in Crazy Heart, or, Al Pacino in Scent of a Woman. And usually those movies become sort of the antagonists of, Oscar seasons past. So with that in mind, it seemed like, okay, maybe this is going to be sort of an anomaly here because the Academy has become younger and more diverse. So maybe they're going to change the way that they vote. But with, BAFTA, I think SAG, or the Actors Award as they're calling them now, will kind of be an indicator. But it'll be fascinating to see if it's not Chalamet, because does DiCaprio win his second movie and it won't be for a Martin Scorsese film again? Will it be Ethan Hawke for a role that maybe a lot of people haven't seen as of yet and are still catching up with Blue Moon? Or does the international sort of caucus kind of take over and Wagner Moura surprises? So there's a lot of kind of up in the air categories this year, more so than in previous years, which is kind of exciting. The only one that seems to kind of be cemented at this point is Jessie Buckley for Hamnet, which basically, if you bet against her, you're going to lose big. And if Kate Hudson wins for Song Sung Blue, I mean, that would be amazing Vegas odds.
What about you, Sandra? Where you, if you're putting money on the Oscars, what is there one film or one thing that you're heavily banking on?
Yeah, I agree. Like, there's no one I'm right now, like, other than Jessie Buckley, I'm 100% like, yeah, that's what's going to win. For me, Best Supporting Actor right now is the one that seems most up in the air. Like, it just seems like every award so far has gone to a different person. So I'm very excited to see what happens with that one. I would love for Delroy Lindo to win. I don't think he will, but
Hmm.
I've loved him for so long, and that feels like one that's been a long time coming. So, oh no, did I freeze again?
Alex, do you remember when we cast Delroy Lindo in No, you're good. We can. It's a little choppy, but we'll figure it
You're
out.
janky, but we'll fix it in post.
Yeah, we'll fix it in post.
Jeff will figure it
this
out. I'm going to drink more whiskey.
Yeah. When we had Delroy Lindo cast in a fictional TV show at work, we were like,
Is that the Reverend Help series?
The Reverend Helps. Yeah,
Yeah.
he was going to be Reverend Helps. It was a good show.
We did a good job with that.
Yeah, it was a good show. What about you, Alex? I know you've seen all the films. I honestly haven't looked at all the names. I did go through them when prepping for the show, and I was like, okay, which ones can I get a hold of to watch again, and which ones have deep enough cast to make them worthwhile to put in deep cuts? Because there's no sense putting a movie in with 7 characters in it, kind of thing.
Right.
So I know you were bragging about having watched all of them when you finally got around to watching F1 was the last one.
F1 was my when they did the nominations, that was my only outlier, which I saw the list and I'm like, F1, like, come on, guys. And then I watched it, and fucking without hyperbole, that is a goddamn masterpiece of a movie. I really loved it. And you know how I feel about sports, Jeff. If it's not about like baseball or Brad Pitt, I don't want it. But it had Brad Pitt. So that was it.
And you do love race movies. Like you do like
this is the second time. Oh, I like Ford v Ferrari, but you're like, you love Rush. I'm like, I don't love Rush. I've just seen it.
All right. But still,
it's fine.
Okay.
But no, F1 is great. It's not Best Picture, but it is, like, I see why it's nominated. Like,
do you think in a bad year F1 could have won? Like, some years that people are like, they're not great. Like,
no.
All right.
I don't think it ever has I don't like, as good as that movie is, and like it hits all the right beats of like just like an A+ summer blockbuster, like feel good kind of movie. I don't think it has that certain thing you need to win a Best Picture. I'd love to see Train Dreams win. It won't, but I would love to see Train Dreams, which I know Eric was way ahead of me on that flick because I remember bumping into him at TIFF, and asking you, and I think Matt, you were with Matt.
Yes.
I'm like, what'd you guys see? What'd you guys like? And you were both like, honestly, Train Dreams came out of nowhere. And I'm like, what the fuck is Train Dreams? And then I eventually got around to seeing it. And when I stopped crying, I didn't even know there was a Nick Cave song over the credits because I was quite literally sobbing too loud to hear it. I'm like, this is the best movie of the year. Undoubtedly the best movie of the year. It won't win, but it's the best picture.
I did see that one on your what's the word? What behoovement? Is that a good word for this?
No, I don't think it is at all.
No, what's
recommendation?
That's a
is
word.
that what you're trying
Great
to say?
fucking question, dude.
Yeah.
Did Dr. Zeus come up with it?
There's a book. I'm gonna look that word up after, and I'm gonna post it, whether I'm right or wrong, but it means something.
Now it does.
Yeah, yes. It's in the lexicon. It's in our deep cuts lexicon. You really recommended it to me, and I did watch it, and like I appreciate the performances and like it's beautiful and stuff like that. It just didn't get me the way it got you.
That's fine. That's good. Not everything's for everybody.
No, it's not.
But I have a question for the group, and Jeff, I'm curious about your answer as well. What everybody, and we'll start with Sandra and work our way around. What do you feel was snubbed this year? I know this is a conversation that everybody's had, and I feel like a bunch of us are going to say the same things, but I am curious if there's any particular standouts, whether it be this movie wasn't great, but there's a performance that should have been recognized, or an entire film, or a script, or whatever that really stuck with you from 2025.
Well, you and I have discussed it a couple times now.
Sandra's going first.
Yeah. Alex and I have discussed a couple times. Sorry Baby was my number one of the year, and I am still mad at the lack of recognition for that one. I am also a big fan of The Testament of Anne Lee, which I felt like did not get as much recognition this year as I would have liked. I thought that was a gorgeous film. I thought Amanda Seyfried's performance was amazing. I was a little surprised by that. And No Other Choice, I was really surprised wasn't up for International Picture, to be honest. I thought that was incredible.
Yeah.
And I really expected it to at least be up for an International Picture Award, but no, nothing. So that shocked me.
I think even Neon was blindsided by that based on their billboards. Eric, what about you?
You know what? It's funny because it's like you wonder. It's like, okay, are you going for something that has a shot in a certain category, or are you just going with like the heart versus the head kind of thing? Because there's a part of me where it's like, yeah, let's throw caution to the wind and say like The Shrouds deserves, a directing nomination or a screenplay nomination. But, if you want to look at something where it's like, oh, maybe it did get a couple nominations, but deserved some more. It's like, we both saw Weapons together. And like, that would have been a great screenplay nomination. And, to talk about No Other Choice, I look at that movie and I think like 5 to 10 years from now, we'll look back at that and see how kind of embarrassing it was that it wasn't nominated for Park Chan-wook's direction and Lee Byung-hun's performance. And even just in Best Picture, like, I think it actually has something to say about what stability and the workforce is in terms of, where we are now, but also sort of looking at outsourcing in the 70s and 80s with the book. So such an incredible piece of filmmaking that, doesn't need the validation of awards to be good because it's a great movie. And Sorry Baby probably should have been nominated for screenplay, and it's unfortunate that Julia Roberts couldn't push to that final 5 there. But and I agree with Amanda Seyfried, like that is an incredible performance that really just towers above so many of the works in the past year, and Mona Fastvold's direction as well. Like a movie that only cost $10 million but looks like $100 million. So some really great stuff that did not get nominated, but again, it doesn't mean that it's like any more or less, because as much as like F1's fine, it's not like a movie where it's like, oh, we'll look back at this and be like, yes, it deserved that Best Picture nomination. And when we're on F2 or F3, which we'll probably get to, it'll be fine. It's fine. It's in comparison to Top Gun Maverick, it's not the same movie, even though they're trying to replicate that kind of feeling. Javier Bardem, though, very good in the film.
Well, for me, Alex, I've only seen like 9 movies from this year. 3 of them are in the game tonight, so we can't really talk about them. But I did see Sorry Baby, and yeah, that I don't know what it was or wasn't nominated for, but if it wasn't nominated for anything, that's stupid. Because I really did like that film. And yeah, like I also did see Weapons. And so, normally I know they don't necessarily go for horror and stuff like that, but like, I walked out of the theater and went, that was an incredible film. So whether it was, like Eric said, screenplay or something, probably deserves something. Other than that, you could probably surprise me with like a dozen movies. I'd be like, oh, that came out this year. I haven't seen. I'm too busy watching crap for this podcast, and being like, well, that was a weird movie.
Yeah, you're like, Lost Boys should be up for Best Makeup. Is it nominated this year, you guys? No, Jeff, sorry.
Yeah, like when are we doing Chasers and Stealing Home? So, so that's kind of where I'm at. But I'll agree with Eric and Sandra that they are correct with everything they said.
Great work, Jeff.
Well, why don't we play a game of deep cuts, because we will talk about some more films that have been nominated, and we'll get some thoughts on them while we play. But first up, we got to play a little game of the IMDb known for. So I'm going to give the 3 of you the name of an actor and actress, and you're going to try to tell me what they're best known for is on IMDb. So in honor of this being our Academy Awards episode, I've picked the person, actor or actress, with the most nominations of all time. That being Meryl Streep. So Sandra, take a moment. I'm going to let you go first, and you let me know what you think is number 1 on Meryl's IMDb. And like, I mean, I think she's got 21 nominations for Academy Awards. So
she's got a lot.
Arguably, it could be 21 of those movies. Yeah. 21 nominations.
Okay. I'm going to go Kramer versus
3
Kramer.
wins.
Only 3 Oscar wins.
Well done,
yeah.
Eric.
So Kramer versus Kramer.
Yeah.
Eric, what do you think?
I'm going to go with a non-Oscar nominated film, Mamma Mia.
Son of a bitch, that's what I was going to say.
All right, Alex, what about you?
Defending Your Life. I love it.
That's a good movie.
Like we said, there's probably no bad choices except for that one.
Okay, then Only Murders in the Building. But no, I'm going to stick with Defending Your Life.
So number 4.
Commit to the bit, Alex. Come on.
Yeah. Sophie's Choice is number 4. Fair enough. I think she won for that one.
That was her second Oscar win, yeah.
Yeah. Number 3 is August Osage County,
Okay.
which, I mean, maybe she was a producer on that or something like that, right? Or it's just topical because is that the one that J.D. Vance wrote? Is that
no? That's Tracy Letts' play.
Oh, okay, sorry. Okay. And then number 2 is Out of Africa.
A movie no
mean-
one talks about now.
Correct.
No one, yeah. But at the time was, and then number one is Mamma Mia.
Oh, of course.
So
Great.
Eric, you were right. Would you like to go first, second, or third?
I just want to say I know the top fours of Hulk Hogan and Meryl Streep. What an achievement!
Because did we do? Was it Hulk Hogan the last time? you
Yeah.
won? Did we do
Oh,
that?
yeah.
one?
Yeah.
Okay, so where would you like to go, Eric? Knowing tonight that it's going to be 3 movies, very heavily featured in the Oscars this year.
Okay. I'll go first. All
right. Sandra, I think Kramer versus Kramer deserves to be on this list more than Alex is defending your life. So would you like to go second or third?
I'll go second.
Second for Sandra. And Alex, well, you're back in the 3 spot.
Love it.
All right. So the 3 movies are one movie that I've seen 3 times, one movie that I've seen twice, and one that I watched yesterday because it came out so late in theaters and I didn't get a chance to see it and had to pay $25 to get a fucking digital copy of it because it's not out on, physical media yet.
Support the arts, Jeff.
I want to.
He's trying. He did it.
I did. They got my 25 fucking bucks.
Begrudgingly.
So, from 2026, Sinners, which I've seen 3 times.
2025.
So, yeah, that's right. This is yours, 2026. Yes. From 2025, the movie I've seen twice, One Battle After Another. And also from 2025, the one I've seen 1 time, Marty Supreme. So, while you take a moment to think of some deep cuts from those movies, let's hear a word from our sponsors.
Hey everyone, I'm Kelly.
And I'm Sarah.
And we are the hosts of the horror podcast Final Girls.
Each episode, we break down the Final Girl blueprint,
What works,
what doesn't,
and what the genre's survival stories say about feminine power in today's cultural context.
So join us every Wednesday as we celebrate the survivors
Dissect the disasters.
and call out every let's go into the basement decision.
See you there.
See you there.
We are back with Deep Cuts the Game. We have Alex, Sandra, and Eric with us tonight. The movies are all nominated for the Best Picture this year. Sinners, One Battle After Another, and Marty Supreme. Eric, you won our IMDb Best Known For and elected to go first. So
Yes.
what is your deepest cut from any of these 3 movies?
Okay, so Marty Supreme, I don't know the actor's name, but he's a twin and he's in Uncut Gems as well.
All right. I might have to look this up because there's a lot of people. So
He's one other sort of character actor name person's sort of like henchman type character.
so who did he play in Marty Supreme? Like,
Yeah,
let's-
he
let's-
was a henchman. So he's like the guy with the you've seen Marty? Yeah.
I've seen it. I watched it last night.
$25, Eric.
Are we going to talk about it? He's at the scene where they're trying to get the dog back?
Yes.
And
Yes.
he's the other guy
Yeah.
that gets...
Yeah, and then later on he makes an in joke about like if you have a job for my other brother, hire him.
Wow. Okay. So I really will have to edit this out because...
Eric, that
I-
joke was for you specifically and no one else in the audience.
Well, all the other sickos that are too deep into this.
Because I did get one person from there. I don't know if I... And so you're saying he's a twin in real life? Is
Yeah,
that
because
correct?
they're
Okay.
in Uncut Gems. There's the 2 of them
2 of them?
together that are
Okay.
always asking Adam Sandler's character for money that they owe.
All
Or
right.
he owes him.
This might take me a second to figure out who we are talking about. Because it's weird. Because Marty Supreme is one of those ones where like the IMDb is like listed in order of appearance,
Right.
More so than so. It's like I'm trying to figure out when did that guy show up in the film. And there's so many. Like I said to Alex the other day, I hate when movies have like 99 plus credits to them, and it's like, Jesus.
Also, Jeff will say, when you're editing this back, if you hear like heavy breathing on my mic, it's not me, it's my cat is snoring on my lap.
I think we should
Uh,
make this episode as long as an Oscars telecast.
We're gonna run for time. I'm gonna start playing Jeff off because his research is taking too long.
All right, because I'm really sorry that I don't have everyone from this film.
Jeff, you just watched it. It should be the
I-
top of mind.
Listen, even Eric doesn't know the character's name or the actor's name. And I'm wondering if he even has a name in Marty Supreme, or is he just listed as like henchman?
Would it be
or
easier to look at Uncut Gems and then
possibly?
Yeah.
I'll be
Yeah.
honest. I think we can probably just assume Erica's right and give him 20 points.
I know. I'm wondering
He's not gonna be wrong.
if he's on my list, and once again, Uncut Gems is such a weird. It's also got like 99 plus people in it. And so are there two people with the same last? Are you gonna? So we're telling there's two people in Uncut Gems with the same last name.
Yes, because I think
okay.
they're twins, and then there's only one in Marty Supreme.
All right, I may have to look this one up after, because once again, Uncut Gems is listed in order of appearance to the point where you're getting like Natasha Lyonne is listed like 35th in the credits kind of thing. So all right, we're gonna have to look this one up after because Jeff's a dummy and I can't find it right now. So
give him the 20 points.
We're gonna give him 20 points for Mystery Man right now, but we'll figure out who this guy is after. Thanks, Eric.
You're
Derailing
welcome.
it out of the gate.
Yeah. Sandra, what is your first deep cut?
I'm not going to catch up. Okay, let's see. I'll go with from One Battle After Another. Kevin Tai, the guy from Roadhouse.
Yeah,
Sure.
I say Teague in my mind.
The GH, I'm like, I don't know if you pronounce the G.
I say Teague, but yeah, he is one of the founders of the Saint.
Yeah.
What are they called? The Saint Nicholas Club, or
Yeah.
Kevin Teague.
Christmas Adventures, yeah.
Christmas Adventures, and they're like, all hail Saint Nick is what they say. Yes, he's worth 15 points because he's not in it much, and he looks much older than I remember him in. Freaks and Geeks is Jason Segel's dad. Like that's where I know him. I know he's in Roadhouse and a bunch of other things, but that's kind of the last thing.
He's in a great episode of Tales from the Crypt with Lance Hendrickson that's directed by Walter Hill.
Oh wow, how old is that episode? Like is that like the 70s or 80s or?
It's like 88 or 9.
Yep, I'm out. Fuck it.
I got to get on an episode with Craig. We got to do this.
I do want to see that happen. I'll host. I'll put you two on it. You guys go against Jeff.
No, why do I want to be up against that? I think when you give me some schlubs to go up against. Alex, you get 2 in a row. What are your first 2 deep cuts?
I'm going to take 2 from Sinners that aren't super deep. Like they have a decent amount of screen time, but I'm hoping they're not very well known, and that's going to get me some points. So the 2 of the 3 main vampires off the top who sing little songs. One of them is Peter Germanis from Toronto's Own from July Talk.
Yep. So he's worth 10 points, Alex.
Great. And his wife is an actress named Lola Kirk, who's also a singer. I don't know anything else she's in, but Alex, I follow her on Instagram.
We literally did a movie of hers last week, and I didn't mention her because I didn't want to tip you off because I knew we were doing Sinners. She's in Gone Girl and you haven't seen you haven't seen Gone Girl.
No, you know I have not in the week since we did the last episode.
She is the girl. I don't know. I'm assuming Eric and Sandra, you've seen Gone Girl at some point in your lives.
Mountain Dew. She says Mountain Dew. Fuck yeah, and she's Boyd Holbrook's partner.
And they steal the money from. Yeah, and so then later I was like, oh, she's in Sinners too, and I was like, who the fuck was she in Gone Girl? And it was like, oh, like she's got a fairly big part in Gone Girl. So she's worth 14 points, though, Alex, because like you said. You didn't know what else she was in. So that's a good start for you, buddy. Well done. Sandra, everyone's scoring high here to start. So what is your second deep cut?
I'm mad he took my only really deep one from Sinners because I just know her as the girl from Mozart in the Jungle because that's all my roommate would talk about. She's like, I know her. So let's see. Okay, I'll go with someone else that was in that Christmas Adventurers Club and One Battle After Another. James Downey, SNL writer.
Yeah, and does he not? He looked so old in that because I was like, James Downey, I know that name, and I looked him up, and I remember him from like, I know it's 30 years ago now, but I remember from like Billy Madison as like the guy doing the academic decathlon, and then to see him in this, and he looks so old.
Has the best lines
Yeah,
in that
so
film.
good.
Yeah, but like my wife is a cheating whore and stuff like that. Yeah. Where did I put his name? I did have James Downey for 13 points. So that's well done.
Good.
Yeah, and I had SNL and Billy Madison were my touchstones for him. So well done.
And the
Eric-
Conan O'Brien bit too, where he does the thing about the Epstein joke on his podcast.
Yes. I did see that.
Well, you get 2 in a row now, Eric.
Okay. I'm gonna go with I don't know her name, but she's in Magnolia as well, and she's the interviewer that interviews Tom Cruise's character, and in One Battle After Another, she is one of the sisters that takes in Chase Infinity's character and says, "Can you pull your weight around here?"
So she's one of the sisters, one of the nuns,
Yeah.
and she's like the older one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I've got her written down again, Eric. Jesus Christ. I do remember that character. Because
We
I was
just
like,
put
no.
mark down Eric for 120 points and cut out the middleman. Like,
It's Grandma Meanie is the character. I just wanted to make sure I knew the right person. It's Starletta Dupois is her name. So she's, I think, what is she best known for? The Notebook, Friday After, and she's in Pee-wee's Big Adventure. So that's a good one. So I'm going to give you 18 for that one, Eric. I think she's a little bit more known than this mystery character that we've not figured out yet.
Right.
So Starletta Dupois.
Nice.
So what is your third deep cut?
Okay, I'm going to take a risk here because it's something where it's like I might be mixing this up, but is Jenna Malone the voice in One Battle After Another on the phone to DiCaprio the first time?
She is the one that calls
him
to tell him that, you know, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I saw her name in the credits. I'd watched the movie once, didn't clue on it, and then, you know, looked at the credits and it was like Jenna Malone as, caller. So she's greeting code caller is her name. So she's worth 16 points. So not really a risk there, Eric. You're just pulling up giant points right now, but well done. That's a good deep cut, and people actually know who she is.
Yes, and she was in Inherent Vice, and like Paul Thomas Anderson brings in a lot of people that he's worked with before.
Yeah. Sandra, we're back to you. What is your third deep cut?
All right. I'm going to go to Marty Supreme. She's known, but she has like a very small part. Like I was shocked I didn't see more of her. Sandra Bernhard.
Yeah. Yeah, especially because she's in like the opening kind of like 10 minutes of that movie. So I thought we were going to see a lot more of her. But we don't. So she's worth 11 points just because the sheer like volume of her character is so small. So that's a good one. Sandra Bernhard, 11 points. Alex, you get 2 in a row. You're doing good, buddy, considering you were worried. But Lola Kirk, it's a good one.
Yeah, I had 2 good ones, and then here comes stars. I'm gonna do one battle and one Marty, kind of cover off everything here. So from One Battle After Another, Alana Hayam is in it. I believe she gets shot in the head. She has a couple of scenes. She's not.
She does, yeah. She's there in the opening, kind of like a rescue mission, and then she's gone by the end of the first act, essentially. Best known as being one of the Haim sisters, and then she's in Licorice Pizza, right?
Yeah, she's like the star of Licorice Pizza.
Star of Licorice Pizza. So she's worth 10 points, Alex.
Great. And I from Marty Supreme, I might be confusing him, but I'm 91% sure that I'm right. Isn't Penn Jillette the old man who owns the dog?
Penn Jillette's the old man who steals the dog.
Who steals the dog, right. Who's like has the shootout at the house.
I had put his name down, like I wrote it down before I started watching the film, and I'm watching, I'm like, when's Penn Jillette going to show up? And I'm halfway through a scene. I was like,
in that movie.
And also barely recognizable because the hair's all gone. He looks his age.
He looks 110.
Yeah. But once I heard him start talking, I was like, oh, that's Penn Jillette.
And he did some very funny close-up magic. And you're like, that's him.
So he's worth about 14 points. I'm loving Sandra's delayed laugh because
they come in at the best time.
Yeah, because I was like, when's Sandra gonna laugh at this? And then 2 seconds later.
Tell you what, Jeff, you can use this part for one of the promos, and I will send you the photo of the time I met Penn and Teller.
Perfect. Penn Jillette for 14 points, Alex. That's a good one. You're not done yet, man. You're doing good. Sandra, we're back to you. You get your fourth deep cut.
Okay, let's see. I'm running out here, guys. In Marty Supreme, oh God, I don't remember his last name. He's from Thelma. Fred something with an H. No, he's in there. I know I saw him in there at one point. I think he might be at the bowling alley or something, but
Fred Heckinger. So
God, what's his last name?
What character
Thank you.
is he? What character is he in Marty Supreme?
He's the theater
Eric,
actor. Yeah, the theater
I think
actor
he's
that
at the
Marty.
bowling. Oh, theater actor. Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
Yes,
Right.
it says he doesn't go through the door right.
Yeah.
Okay. The one that someone like chews out for, being a shitty
Yes.
actor, essentially. Okay, so yeah, he's worth 16 points. It's another good one because we got some really high scores here today. Eric, you get 2 in a row, your fourth and your fifth.
Okay, so I'll go with Marty Supreme, and I'll go with the actor who he used to be a radio voice announcer and then was unhoused, and there was a YouTube video of him that kind of went viral. Ted Williams.
He is. And when I saw the name, I was like, Ted Williams. And then because there's a former baseball player named Ted Williams, is like, this is his son or something. I'm like, and I read, no, he was the announcer. I think he's the announcer for the Cleveland Cavaliers now, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and he's in like the ping pong sort of training thing, and he says hey to Marty when they comes in.
Yep.
So.
He's worth 17 points because who the hell would know who Ted Williams is? Like, honestly, like he's got like 3 credits, right? Like it's this and yeah. So then what is your fifth deep cut, Eric?
Okay. I think her name, she's in a lot of A24 movies coming up, and she was in The Moment, and she's in the sort of like the bowling sequence, the hustler sequence. I think it's
Charlie XCX.
Yeah. No, Haley. I think it's like Haley Bennett or.
Is she the girlfriend?
Yeah.
The guy that he is hustling at the start or trying to hustle.
But she's the creative director in The Moment with Charlie XCX.
I didn't write her down because she's in the movie for 35 seconds, right? Like her line is like, I wanted to bowl all night is essentially her line.
Yeah.
So whatever her name is worth 20 points. How would you even recognize her?
Well, she's great in The Moment. She has like a lead role in that film.
Okay. Sandra, you got your fifth one. It's tough. You're doing very well to even stay in the game with Eric here. But what is your fifth deep cut?
Listen, in a normal game, I'd be very proud of my score.
Yeah, you're killing it. Yeah.
Okay, I'll go with. Let's go with Abel Ferreira and Marty Supreme, the guy who owns the dog.
That's I've been Googling images of Abel Ferreira from the movie so I can try to get the other guy in hopes of finding out what that actor's name is. So Abel Ferreira from a bunch of weird stuff, right? Like just weird. Like what was his horror film? The driller killer.
Directed a ton of shit too.
He did, but I think he directed Driller Killer. If I'm not
mistaken. He directed King of New York, didn't he?
Yeah,
with Christopher Walken.
And Body Snatchers. Like he's kind of known as an exploitation filmmaker first and foremost, and a personality second. And he's doing a lot of like Willem Dafoe collaborations in the last 10 years or so.
That sounds
he's
bye, Sandra. Well, she'll be back or she won't. That's
all right. Well, he was only worth 10 points because I actually did recognize him.
That's still pretty good.
Alex, you get your fifth and your final deep cut.
Okay, Jeff. So they're gonna be less deep, but from one battle after another, she's in it a little, but she should have been in it more. Rebecca Hall, isn't it?
Yeah, Rebecca Hall as one of the other French
Regina Hall.
Regina Hall. Yeah, I knew who you meant. Regina Hall.
I'm getting my Halls mixed up. Both tremendous actresses.
From the Scary Movies franchise is kind of like
and Black Monday. She's awesome in Black Monday.
Sure. Regina Hall. I don't think Black Monday's on her IMDb best known for, Alex. It's Scary Movie and Scary Movie whatever the other one is she's in. But yeah, she's worth 9 points, Alex, because yeah, she's not in it a whole lot, but does have a big part. What is your final deep cut?
I mean, I'm currently torn between
Rip Torn?
I'm Rip Torn. Speaking
Defending
of
your life.
We did have
Eric.
we did have Rip Torn as an answer a couple weeks ago, though. So
probably Rip Torn's great. He's always the right answer, Jeff. I'm torn between like various supporting actresses at this point, because my list isn't so good here at the end. I'm gonna assume. I want to say, like, do I get any points for like, oh, the sperm and Marty Supreme is the same from Look Who's
I was gonna make a joke that it was like it's the same sperm from like Look Who's Talking or something like that.
17th one over is actually reprising his role. He's killing.
Yeah.
No, okay. So the female lead in Marty Supreme, speaking of the first scene, is Odessa something or other. I don't know her name, but she's
Zion.
Thank you. She's in I Love LA with Rachel Sahn.
Yeah, she's worth 6 points, Alex. She's in the news a lot right now.
Great. She didn't just win a BAFTA, so it seemed like a better choice.
Yeah. She's worth 6. That's not a bad deep cut. Daughter of Pamela Adlon, right? Is that kind of like we're
really
right? Yeah.
In real life?
Yeah, in real life. Like they kind of look alike, and like her voice, she's got a bit of a Pamela Adlon voice to her too.
Yeah.
And she's also like 5 feet tall, so that's how you know they're related. So not a bad one, Alex. Not your best, but it's still pretty good. Sandra, we lost you there for a bit, but you're back, thankfully. What's your final deep? We gave you 10 points for Abel Ferreira. What's your final deep cut?
Oh, beautiful. Thank you. Okay. My last one, I'm going to go with One Battle After Another. One of the revolutionaries in the French 75. I don't know the actor's name. He was in Remember the Titans. He was one of the football players, one of the black ones, and I'm trying to remember his character's name in that.
Is it Wood Harris?
I want to say the actor's name is like Woody or
it's Wood Harris. He's
yes, thank you.
He's also one of like Paul Rudd's associates in Ant-Man, if I'm not mistaken. He's
great
like,
on The Wire too. And,
yeah, like
Dredd. He's excellent in Dredd.
I love Dredd.
Yeah, because he's Gale in Ant-Man. So I think he's like one of the guys that works with Paul Rudd, like when he gets out of jail and they're going to start their own like security company. So yeah, Wood Harris for 12 points. I'm not going to ask what was his security question that he asked Leonardo DiCaprio to get the coordinates for where he needed to go, but it was a question he asked him that it was a good one. Alex, what's your final? Oh, sorry, it's Eric. What is your final deep cut? I don't want to tell you how many points you got right now, but you got a lot. So
okay,
what's your final one?
So you can take it easy now. What you're saying?
You can, or you go for the glory. Like this is when legends are made, Eric.
That's true. You know what? He's probably like a little bit more well known, but I'll go with Sal Williams for Sinners. He's the father to Miles Catton's character.
Sal Williams is the dad. Yeah, what is he better known for?
He's like a poet and a performance artist first and foremost. Yeah.
So I gave him 12 points because you honestly kind of need to know his name because, like we just said, we don't really know what he's known for. So that is a good one.
What's annoying, Jeff? I just remembered Buddy Guy.
I was going to say Buddy Guy
just right now, and I'm like, fuck me. That's too late.
Yeah, let's see what we missed. Like I would say from Sinners, you guys cleaned up the notable people and anyone that you maybe could have gotten easily enough, with Buddy Guy being the one exception. One Battle After Another. Once again, you cleaned up pretty good. Tony Goldwyn would have been a decent cut. And then John Hugenacker is the guy that shoots Sean Penn on the road. He's the guy that they send out to like hunt down Sean Penn and everything. He's from like Dope Sick and some other things. Marty Supreme. Yeah, once again, you guys did very well. There's a couple of the Harlem Globetrotters are actual NBA players. So like former Toronto Raptor Tracy McGrady was part of them. We talked about David Mamet. David Mamet is the director of the stage play that Gwyneth Paltrow's character is doing. And then, I mean, no points worth for this guy at all. And it's one of those things where like, what a great performance. It's like when Courtney Love was in The People versus Larry Flint, and she was essentially just playing herself. But Kevin O'Leary essentially just playing Kevin O'Leary. Yeah. From Sandra.
If any of us remember the name of the actual ping pong player that plays his Japanese adversary, how many points for that guy, Jeff?
I didn't write it down, Alex.
So 20 points.
Because he's a real
ping pong player.
Yeah. There's
and Robert Pattinson does the voice of one of the announcers too.
Yeah, I forgot that, Eric.
Yes,
God
I
damn
forgot
it.
that. God damn it.
Did anybody recognize Alex? You got Odessa Azion. Did you recognize her husband?
Yeah, I do know him. I recognize his face. He's in a.
I can say it.
Things.
Go ahead, Eric.
Emery Cohen.
Emery Cohen from Brooklyn. He's like
Cohen.
her husband that she marries. He's the Italian guy that she marries. There was another former basketball player named George Gervin. I think he's the guy that runs the ping pong hall. He's the elderly gentleman that brings Marty in. He's like, no, there's someone in the back already. So well done. Final scores. Alex, 63.
Good.
Honestly, a very good score. Sandra, 77. Another very good score. Great score. Honestly, towards the top of the standings this season.
What? It's such a good score. Let's stop listing the scores. We're all done.
Congratulations, Sandra. You won. Yeah. Eric, 103.
Jesus.
That's
Christ.
if we're giving
Jesus
20 points
Christ.
to this first character.
Which we are.
Because I have not been able to confirm who they are yet. Do we have any more information?
We don't need any more.
I want to be able to put a name down to this actor. I'll figure it out later if he's got a twin that is in Uncut Gems. It's not. What was the other person that I had? Is Ratso Sloman was the other person from Marty Supreme. But
there's also the actor from Son of Saul, who's the one guy that kind of brings him into the Harlem Globetrotters and talks about the story about the honey.
What a weird story! Like, could the people not have scraped the honey off of him first and then eaten it like off their hands? Did they need to lick it straight off his body?
They did.
I think Josh Safdie has talked a little bit about almost homaging to Dawn of the Dead. It almost looks like a zombie-esque scene.
Alex is going to hate me for bringing this up because I often bring this movie up because he's like, oh, you do love this movie. So about halfway through Marty Supreme, and like, I did not mind the music in this film. Like, it was not from the time, but I enjoyed a nice 80s soundtrack. So I was okay with it. But every once in a while, there was like a music hit. And I was like, what is this reminding me of? And it reminded me of the movie 3 O'Clock High. So Eric gets it, and I looked it up because I wanted to be like, am I thinking? And like, people are like, no, it's not the same song. But they're like, there has been, people have noticed the similarity in the music between this film and not only 3 O'Clock High, but Risky Business. And honestly, when you look at the three films, there are similarities in the story. Like a person who has like a limited amount of time and is trying to get money or figure something out by like this point. And I was like, I wonder if, and just in my head, I'm like, I was all happy that I thought of something that other people thought of too, even if it wasn't true. Alex, what'd you think of Marty Supreme? I know you liked it. It was
in my like top 5 movies. Yeah, I really enjoy Marty Supreme because it's one of those rare movies that is well written enough, well directed enough that I fucking hated Marty Mauser. That guy sucked. He was not somebody I wanted to hang out with. He could not get out of his own way. God, I hated that guy, but I wanted him to win. And that is a very rare experience for me. Either I root for the hero or I don't. It's rare for me to kind of split it down the middle. So I really enjoyed it. I had a great time. I thought it was a lot of fun. And I really like the cast.
Does anyone think any of these three movies is going to win Best Picture?
Maybe One Battle.
It's down to One Battle and Sinners, I think, for Best Picture. And, people have been debating now that maybe Sinners has a little bit of an edge because it's kind of, we're talking about like maybe a split with director and picture. But I don't know. One Battle it seems like the film that's representative also of the year and also what's going on in the US in terms of it being timely, but still like echoing, films of the 70s and early 80s, like right around the time when Heaven's Gate kind of changed the director-friendly studio film. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you got what are there 10 films nominated for best film? So you got a 30% chance it's going to be one of these three. So that's pretty good.
I'm curious what Eric and Sandra thought of Marty Supreme, because I know what one of them thought of it. I don't know what the other thought. Eric, begin.
Oh, yes. Okay. You know what? It's I really like the movie a lot. And I don't disagree with what you're saying where, Marty Mouser is repugnant and a terrible human being. However, on the third viewing of the movie, there's something about the hurt that he's covering up in terms of not having a father in his life. And he talks kind of very pointedly about that absence and the idea of him having to hustle because that's all he knows. He's not a good person and he makes a lot of bad choices, but there is a certain amount of empathy, I think, within that character to, I think, what you're talking about before, Alex, where it's like you still kind of root for him because the world can be so harsh and unforgiving that it's like, okay, well, what's the other option?
Yeah, what Eric said. Way more eloquent than mine. Sandra, what about you?
Oh, I did not care for Marty Supreme. Like, I didn't hate it. I think the performances are great. I do think Timothée Chalamet is great in it. I thought everyone's good in it. For me, at a certain point, I'm like, oh my God, I get it. He sucks and nothing works for him. I don't care anymore. I couldn't connect with the movie personally. But I get why everybody loves it. Like, I see what everybody sees. It's just, for me, I was like, I don't care for this one. It wasn't working for me.
Fair enough.
I'm like that with Frankenstein, so
Oh, don't get Sandra started on Frankenstein.
Yeah, don't get me started on Frankenstein.
I love Frankenstein. I thought it was great. I can't wait for that and K-pop Demon Hunters to get a Criterion.
I know you, buddy.
Buy both.
I think I figured out who we were talking about, Eric, with the twin, and I think it's Larry Ratso Sloman.
No, it's not.
It's not him. Okay,
No.
because he's in Uncut Gems as Man on Street.
No.
So it's just okay. So it's not him.
No.
Okay, because there was an image. Someone had I typed in Uncut Gems.
It's
twins, and there was a picture, and I
Hold
thought
on.
it was him, but I could be wrong. I've got.
Are we allowed to look it
think
up
it might be
now?
Mitchell.
Or?
Yeah, go ahead and
I
look it
just-
up. Yeah, the game is over.
Yeah. I googled twins in Uncut Gems. Try Mitchell Wenig, Wenig.
Yep, that's him.
Yeah, Mitch. There's these two guys. Yeah, with kind of the hair. But then, okay, so what character was? So he, okay, yeah, he's the guy that gets shot at the farmhouse in the head out the window.
Yeah, and he's the one that's like with the dog run. He's kind of like the second for Abel Ferrara's character to kind of keep Odessa Zion from escaping.
Well done. I guess that's worth 20 points. Congratulations.
I guess
I wouldn't have known his name. I only because I really couldn't figure out who this guy was. So well done. So Eric, we didn't ask you. You've won again for the second time. Any suggestions on who you think would be a good future guest? I think last time you recommended someone from a video store or something, if I'm not.
Oh yeah, Mark Hansen from Bay Street Video.
Yeah, I don't know if I reached out to him or not, or if
guy.
I did and just never heard anything back.
You know what? Another person that you might want to have on that maybe is closer to May, because I think the Fast and Furious anniversary is coming up, is Barry Hertz from the Globe and Mail, because he has an excellent book on the Fast and Furious that's out right now. Welcome to the Family, that I recommend to check out to anybody. It is so good. Like, it is one of those books where it's purely entertaining, but Barry knows so much about the franchise and what it means to pop culture and blockbuster filmmaking, not just within the context of the world that Vin Diesel has, created, but, within the lexicon of modern blockbuster filmmaking. And, Barry's so insightful, very funny, and just a really good guy. And any chance I get to kind of, promote his book, it's really a delight to read.
Awesome. Well, and now that we have a little more street cred, we might actually be able to get him, Alex.
Sandra, have you read this book? This seems so up your alley. I know you've got a Fast and Furious tattoo. You love Vin Diesel, everything that he's in.
I have not. It is definitely up my alley. I'm aware of it. It is on my to read list. The cross, I got that for my birthday one year from my friend James, the Vin Diesel's cross that he wears in the movie. So I've got that necklace hanging in my room in a place of honor. No, I do want to read that book because when they did the screening of Fast and Furious at the review earlier this summer, I think Barry was there talking about it, or they were promoting it. So
Nice. Eric, we've talked about Barry's book and stuff like that. Where can people find you?
Sure. Well, first of all, thanks, Jeff and Alex, for having me back on the show. And Sandra, it was really nice to meet you as well. You can find more of my reviews and interviews on rogerstv.com/cinemascene. And I co-host a podcast called the Untitled Movie Podcast with Matt Rohrbeck and Andrew Feigl.
Nice. Sandra, do you want people to be able to find you and see what you're up to, or are you like some of our other guests who like to remain hidden in the shadows?
they can if they want. I'm not doing much, but you can find me on Instagram, Cinephile Sandra. You can find me on Letterboxd, Sandra Byles. Yeah, I don't do much but watch movies, and my reviews are not particularly insightful. So give it a follow if you want.
Yeah, my reviews have gotten to like 3.5. I'm like, it was good, and I'm like, move on. Alex, what about you?
Jeff, you're so behind on your letterbox.
I know, I'm so far behind.
It's because you're mostly watching for this, and you can't post it.
I don't want to post it and spoil it. Yeah.
So it's a dead letterbox. But my letterbox is fully active, and you can find it at the Alex Young. You can also find me on all social media at the Alex Young. And as I say every week, buy your movies, go see movies in the theater, just support cinema any way you are able, because it's great.
All right. Well, we're at the part of the show where Alex sends me an outro that I read sight unseen. I was given no notes earlier today to practice any sort of accent or anything like that. So I'm hoping it's going to be easy.
So no accents, but you are doing the banter before the award for Best Original Podcast, and you are playing both parts of the team that is presenting this award.
Right. So for anybody, you can't see this, but there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 little blurbs here. So I'm assuming each blurb, are they separate characters?
Back and forth.
Back and forth. Okay. Yeah. Do you want to give me who am I doing here? It's like, is there 2 people you have in your mind?
Well, I very cleverly named them both Jeff. So you can do wherever the fuck you want, man.
Like Jeff 1 and Jeff 2. Okay.
Jeff 1 and Jeff 2. You could do one with like a deep voice, one with a high voice. You do one with like an accent, one that's your regular.
All right. We'll see what happens, Alex. Often I start with one thing and end with.
Always end up as Lumiere from Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, just something weird. Yeah. Okay. So what we got here. Jeff, they say silence is golden, but in our business, silence is a glaring technical failure. Yeah, this is that sort of crap that you hear right before they present the award. That's right, Jeff. We are of course speaking of the next award, Best Original Podcast, the category that proves you don't need a high budget or crew, just a microphone and a dream. A clever and handsome best friend for a co-host doesn't hurt either. Pause for laughter, should I say that?
You should say it.
Joking aside, it can be very grueling between research, scheduling, and explaining who Dale Dickey is. It barely leaves time for editing. So be sure to follow each and every nominee, as they're all winners to us. But the actual winner of the original podcast is, oh my God, Nick Flicks. Congrats, Nick. What an upset. Be sure to follow Deep Cuts anywhere you get your podcast. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you next week.